Yeah, Jessica, that's right. PG&E restored power to all of the customers affected by the public safety power shutoffs at about 2 p.m., including here in Lebec. A lot of residents here told me that they now have a sense of reprieve now that their power is back on, now that they have lights and could cook. But a lot of them told me that it was difficult to manage the nearly 20 hours without power.
No internet, no telephone, no TV.
No AC and no lights. Holly Ingalls and her husband Dennis were one of hundreds that were affected by the public safety power shutoffs issued from Pacific Gas and Electric due to the red flag warnings in Kern County mountain communities.
We are finding this extremely difficult to maneuver through all of this.
Lights went out last night around 7 p.m. in Lebec and were turned back on this afternoon. The Ingalls had backup generators, but even so, they had to be tactful of what they chose to power up.
This is the oxygen concentrator. This is what makes oxygen for him to breathe on a regular basis. And it's more important that we do the oxygen than any lights or things like that in the house.
With no lights, flashlights had to do, but they weren't enough for Mr. Ingalls, who had tripped in the living room where wires from the generator covered the floor.
This morning, this was outside or inside here, and it was kind of curled up like that. And he walked along and caught his foot.
Others in the neighborhood, like Deanna Banks, had to keep a close eye on her elderly roommate who depends on her oxygen tank.
It's just been an issue because we can't turn the oxygen on for the evening, and so we've had to use inhalers and other things like that for an emergency. So if we have 911, we have to drive out somewhere. And no lights. We had candles all night long.
For Mr. Ingalls, the only thing that there wasn't a shortage of was humor.
I said, to put it in a different way, it sucks.
And I spoke to Katie Allen. She is the PG&E spokeswoman here in Kern County. She tells me, look, our hearts go out to these folks out in those communities, especially the elder folks who have medical needs, as the ones you just heard in that story. But she says, look, with all the fires burning up and down the state, with the red flag warnings, with high gusts in areas that are prone to fires, they don't want to take any chances. They want to uphold public safety to the highest degree. She says for the next 7 days, they don't anticipate any additional shutoffs. Weather conditions look like they're going to be much more favorable than they have been in the last several days. But she says, look, if those red flag warnings and weather conditions do present themselves again, they will shut off power again. For now, we're live in Lebec. Bayan Wang, 23 ABC, connecting you.